Hello, everyone. My name is Gabriel, and this is the Rise Atlantis show. Today, the topic for today is going to be since today is Friday, February the 2nd, 2018. 2 more days on Sunday is going to be the Super Bowl. I'm going to be talking about sports. We'll be talking about mainly the NFL and the Super Bowl coming up. So that'll be the topic for today. We'll go ahead and get started with the news. Let's see here. Mysterious incident kills hundreds of birds in Utah. Odd incident in Utah saw hundreds of birds falling from the sky, and some were wondering if they could have been killed by a UFO. Weird event occurred along a street in the city of Draper on Monday, and this is in Utah. They were just falling out of the sky like leaves, one amazed observer told CNN station. Hundreds of birds falling out of the sky. There were 200 starlings. Now, it's interesting because the starling birds are one of the most common that are mysteriously dying and falling from the sky. And sometimes you hear crows and ravens, but it's never pigeons, doves. It's never the other types of birds, you know. So, for some reason, there's been a lot of starling birds that have been dying, falling from the sky. So that's something to take into account. I wish I would know what it means, but the starling birds are one of the most common that fall and die. So could it be a sign of the rapture? Like, is Jesus like showing this, like saying that that's how the evil people are going to die if they don't repent? So, something to take into account. And the bees that have been mysteriously disappearing and dying, people say that it's the chemicals, the chemtrails, contrails. Could be. But if that was the case, it'd be happening all the time, and it rarely does. So, it makes me think that that's not the case. Okay, let's see here. Supposedly, people saw like an object near it that hit it or something like that. Trying to find where it says. Okay, let's see here. The birds were just flying along, crashed into the side of a large vehicle, and boom. So a lot of people saw a large craft in the sky, and they're saying it did not look like an airplane. They're not really saying what it looked like, though. They said it looked like a flying saucer. It looked like a flying saucer, they said. Now, this could be a sign that the flying saucer was not a physical object. It could have been an apparition. 17 other birds did manage to survive. Whether it was that killed the rest of the flock, they're still trying to find out. So, really weird story. You know, a lot of people saying that they saw 200 starlings hit a craft in the sky. Now, there's a video. Hopefully, it shows it. Let me see here. Bringing up the video. It's by Secure Team. They're a really good YouTube channel. Let's see here. So they're just falling out of the sky like leaves. Okay, let's see here. By Utah, Channel 13 News. Okay, so these are pictures right here. That is a lot of birds right there. So, is that the same one that looks like it's forming another bird? I mean, it kind of looks like it. It kind of looks, because there was another one similar that was like forming like the same thing. So is this like probably like something the same like it? This other one formed like a giant bird pattern formation that a whole lot of other ones were flying to. This kind of looks like another bird, a giant bird with all the other ones formed up, but not exactly. As you can see, it looks more than a bird. It looks like a music note. It's pretty funny. Like a music note that goes like this, and then something to the right of it. Here's the picture again. You can see the music note right here. Music note. Now, could it mean something happening with music? It's interesting because I just sent my music in for copyright like 2 days ago, waiting for it to clear through. So my music is coming out very, very soon. And this could relate to my music copyright. So that is interesting. Fascinating, mesmerizing, wow. So I think I have a connection here with my music going into copyright and this music note in the birds. So I'm telling you, this year is going to be filled with so many signs. It's going to be so exciting. Prepare to be amazed. Expect big surprises. This year is going to be like any other year ever happened, because all the other years I started Rise Atlantis and was it 2006 or 2007. So it's been around almost 10 years, a decade. Wait, is a decade 100 years? I'm not sure, but it's been around 10 years, so it's very interesting. Because, I mean, yeah, I've had Rise Atlantis going for over 10 years, and the videos just have been like, you know, just there. I never really had money to advertise it, but now I'm starting to make money, so big moves are happening. Not just I'm making money to advertise, but also I started this channel because making the the Rise Atlantis videos is a link on my page in the About section. Making those videos, it's hard to make every day because there's days that go by weeks, sometimes even months, where I'm just waiting for the next sign. And I'm not looking for like the average UFOs. I don't want the Rise Atlantis videos to be nothing but UFOs. I want it to be like actual signs, great signs and mighty wonders, as it said in Revelation. Like this, for example, way more powerful than little dots in the sky, you know. So this right here are the signs I want to be seeing more often, not just, you know, these little specks in the sky. So yeah, now that I started the Rise Atlantis Daily Show, the one I'm broadcasting now, it gives me the ability to post something every single day to keep people up to date and to keep people you know, on a daily basis, so they don't forget about the Rise Atlantis, so they don't forget about the mission, Jesus' return, you know. So this right here is powerful, powerful stuff. I mean, I just noticed there was a music note right now. A lot of people say it could be something else. It does look like maybe a key in the sky. You know, remember there's the cube that appeared in El Paso? There's like cubes that are mysteriously appearing, floating in the sky. Kind of looks like a Minecraft block, you know? You know how in the game Minecraft, the blocks float in midair. So, could these square UFOs that's appearing, could they have something to do with not necessarily Minecraft itself, but something like Minecraft? So it's very, very interesting. Next story. It's always got to load first. Man who headed up secret government UFO study speaks out. Okay, let's see if we can just get to the point here. I just want to, because you know, these news stories, there's a lot of stuff to read. So with this show, I simplify it. I just get to the main part of it. Because most people don't have the time to sift through all these stories and read every single word. Good thing I'm a fast reader. I know how to skim read, so I just go to the main parts of the story, you know. So I just kind of sum it all up. Let's see here. UFO study focused on U.S. militia. Let's see here. Civilian contractor for the program. Doesn't say his name. Based in Las Vegas, is a secret Pentagon program to study UFOs. Let's see here. Doesn't say his name, but their contract ended in 2012. But the man who managed the program inside the Pentagon thinks it's still operating. His name is Luis Elizondo. Hopefully I spelled that right. And first heard of his name last October. He stood on the stage with rock star Tom DeLonge. You know, he's the one from Ancient Aliens with the crazy hair that says, I'm not saying aliens, but aliens. You know, so Tom DeLonge's awesome, you know. Shout out Tom DeLonge. So next, I believe that's him. I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain. Elizondo spent more than 10 years as the head of a secret study of the unidentified aerial objects, otherwise known as UFOs. So now they're starting to call it unidentified aerial objects or unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP. You know, but UFO sounds way better. It's because the word UFO has gotten a lot of flack over the years, being seen as, oh, UFO means alien, UFO means spacecraft, you know. But a lot of people don't know UFO can mean apparition. It's such a simple theory, but not that many people think that, yo, what if these UFOs could be apparitions? Everyone always assumes, oh, it's either a man-made object or it's extraterrestrial. They never had the thought come into their mind that says, what if it could be some kind of apparition form, you know? So that's something more people need to start. See, I'd say maybe only 20% of the world probably has the idea that UFOs could be apparitions. And the other 80% of the world hears UFOs, they think it's man-made or extraterrestrial. So it's hard to break into that gap of letting people know that apparitions are real, they do appear, and we can summon them from God, you know. Just go outside, daytime and night, and just pray to God, and you'll see signs, you know. You'll see signs like I've seen. And I plan to summon them in front of large groups soon. It's not easy, it's a daunting task, but it is coming, like the Bible says, and truly it is coming. So the next is, let's see, what else does this say? The Russian and Chinese are trying to up their game of UFO research over than us. You know, Russia recently said that they know how to summon UFOs, and they do it by warmongering. Come on, man. Russia is completely out of line. That's why God sent that meteor over there to Russia to wake the people up that Putin is a dictator. Yes, Russian government are dictators, and they may need regime change. They invaded Ukraine, they stole their land, their buildings, their weapons, everything, and they stole the giant part of Crimea from Ukraine, and they stole it from them. And they killed people. Russia killed Ukrainian people in the process. And Putin has so much blood on his hands, and he may not get into heaven. Let's just say his fate may be sealed and he may be doomed. Unless he says a billion Hail Marys, you know, he can escape in the rapture. But if he doesn't get his soul right, he is going to be left behind. along with all those other terrorists in the world. So trying to sift through all this. Let's see what else. Looks like that's pretty much it. They're calling it the Tic Tac UFO because over several days in 2004, the NIPSO battle group of the Coast of San Diego demonstrated vast superiority over America's vast defense systems. So I guess what they're saying there is they're trying to mimic the UFO flight patterns, like the speed and the maneuvers and all. They're calling it the Tic Tac UFO program. So there's a lot of stuff coming to light that the government UFO files are starting to be released. This is part of the UFO disclosure. So let's see here. North Korea is getting big on UFO research. Isn't that something? Okay, let's see here. So that's pretty much it. Pretty interesting. Okay, next story. Let's see here. This right here could be signs of Atlantis. Did ancient Greeks sail to Canada? You know how Greek mythology is all rooted around Atlantis. So the Greeks may have visited all parts of the world, so that could be clues that the Greek mythology of Atlantis were spread out to all around the world. So they're not just saying Canada. Maybe the Greeks migrated to all parts of the world, and that could have been part of the Atlantis globalization, basically, like how Christopher Columbus came to America, is what the Greeks try to do to the world. So that could be a sign of Atlantis. Or the Greeks were becoming very superior in technology. Okay, next story. Why you probably shouldn't worry about Earth's magnetic poles flipping. Let's see here. Let's see here. And I'm not really seeing any proof that it's not going to happen. Because you know it could happen. Magnetic poles could flip. I mean, we are seeing changes in weather patterns. We're seeing more rain and snow in deserts, and we're seeing less rain and snow where there should be, like tropical areas. You know, why is California so much in drought when they're next to the ocean? Boggles the mind. Nevada, why are they so dry? Death Valley, could it be of their sins that they are in gambling, and in all the harlotry that they have going on in Nevada and Las Vegas? I think so. Maybe it could be a curse. So, not saying for certain to the people of Nevada that God is cursing your country because of that, but it could be. You know, I hate to say that people in bad circumstances is all from God testing them. It's all because their countries are evil. You know, I don't like to say, like, oh, well, you hear all these Christians say God caused the flood over there in New Orleans because they're evil with voodoo. You know, I don't like to take that approach. You know, that really happened just because the levees gave out. So it's really bad. I don't like to judge any countries or any cultures. Like I said before, voodoo, when it first started, was very spiritual in nature. And then people started coming in, added their own twist to it, just like with everything else. Mormonism was cursed by the polygamists. So there's good and bad in everything. Okay, let's see. They're not really saying any proof that the poles aren't going to flip. Let's see, hold on. Hey, Lord. phone real quick. Okay. So they're not really saying any proof yet that the poles aren't going to flip. They say the pole flipping could take around 1,000 and 10,000 years. It's not a sudden flip, it's a slow process. The last one was theory to happen 780,000 years ago, almost a million. So a million years, are we due for something big? Obviously, right? So they're not really saying any proof that it's not going to happen. They're all just theories, you know. Next story is pilots' spectacular photos taken from airplane cockpit. This is about the blood moon that just happened. I believe so. They're not showing the blood moon. Oh, these are just Ouroboros. Let's see here. I thought they were going to show the blood moon there, but no. Breakdown, GOP releases secret memo exposing FBI abuse allegations in Russia probe. So they're saying here that they're finding the FBI is involved in hoaxing a memo against Trump. So that could be a clue that, you know, that it is the FBI making up the story of that Trump was colluding. Next story, Arizona man who sold ammo to Las Vegas shooter is charged. It's hard to catch these people, man, and it's so good when they catch them. So an Arizona man who sold ammunition to the Las Vegas shooter is charged. Great news. One less loser off the streets. Okay, next story. Eagles quarterback has a dream bigger than the Super Bowl. He says, I want to be a pastor. This is Tom Brady, right? Oh, no, it's Zach Ertz. You know, Tom Brady should be a pastor, you know. The cheating scandal, he was deflating balls. I'm not really bashing the Patriots, if there's any Patriots fans out there. You know, I mean, who's to say, you know? Tom Brady, maybe they were a little flat and he didn't check them, so maybe it was an accident. We can't judge people. Only God can judge people. So we have to see it in that point of view as well. So this is a replacement quarterback, no? Oh, the Eagles quarterback. I thought it was the Patriots. Okay. Eagles quarterback. His name is Zach Ertz. Is he planning to leave the NFL? He wants to be a preacher. You can always do both. You can always play in the NFL and be a preacher, you know? So that's pretty awesome. Next story. Is should Christians avoid yoga? And they're saying because yoga is deeply rooted into atheism and into atheism and what's it called? Not agnostic, but like where you open your mind up to other realms and demonic spirits, even. Like the Buddhists. I'm not saying the Buddhists are evil, but they are atheists, so that's not good. God is real, and the proof is out there. And I pray all the Buddhists really find God. So That's what they're saying, that yoga is deeply rooted into atheism and Buddhism. And the Buddhists are atheists. So is yoga one giant deceptive cult? Very interesting. Next story is Turkey moving closer to Gog and Magog alliance. Now let's see here. What are they saying? Let's see here. Yep, it says President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. What a weird name. Hard to pronounce. His ascent to power, which means his rise to power. Turkey and Israel enjoyed a close working relationship, from tourism to trade to the military and beyond. That began to change when Erdogan was elected prime minister in 2003. Okay, let's just get to the point here. Why are they saying that Turkey is moving closer to Gog and Magog? Well, you know, Turkey is funding terrorism, just like in the stories. Or, you know, they're all funding the Syrian terrorists. So Turkey is starting to fund terrorism because the terrorists are starting to hide out. They're not staying in the main spots everyone knows, like Iraq and Afghanistan. They're trying to hide underground, so they're going to countries where no one suspects that there's terrorists. Everyone thinks it's peaceful, like Turkey, for example. Obviously, the terrorists are moving into Israel. They're trying to rotten it from the inside. So, beware. The terrorists are starting to hide out in countries that look peaceful. Actor Tom Hanks set to play minister and TV icon Mr. Rogers. So they're going to make a new Mr. Rogers movie, and they're going to have Tom Hanks playing Mr. Rogers. Hopefully they add comedy to it, you know. Hopefully they make it like very modern, you know. That's cool. Let's see. Next story is, let's see here. The fasting mimicking diet that gives you the health benefits of fasting without depriving your body of food and nutrients. Okay, let's see here. Now, what's the trick, huh? Let's see. Let's see here. Fasting can help us lose weight, reduce the risk of cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, living longer lives. Let's see here. But what's the trick to not fast, and make your body feel like it's fasting? What's the trick here? Let's see. Is fixing the problems within our cells and minimizing DNA damage. Okay. It works because fasting slows the production of the growth hormone, IGF. And I guess the growth hormone causes the growth of bad cells. That's probably why it's saying that. But is there any diet to make the body feel like it's fasting? Let's see here. The good news is Longo. I think Longo's a person. Yes, Gordon Robertson talks with Dr. Walter Longo about the longevity diet. Okay, and so he wrote a new book, and in this book, it talks about how to make your body feel like it's fasting when you're not really fasting. Discovered a diet that tricks the body to think it's fasting. Let's see here. It doesn't say the secret. That's the catch. You got to buy the book. You know, but I'm pretty sure the information's on there on the internet if you want to Google it. It's a certain kind of diet. Most likely it's going to be a lot of fruits, vegetables, maybe herbs, rare herbs no one's heard about. So, I mean, that's usually the trick there, you know. And the information's on there on the internet. Father lunges at Larry Nasser in court before being restrained. It's crazy, you know. Next story. It's 8:38, so almost wrapping up the news segment. Dow plunges below 666 points. Worst day since Brexit. Now I remember it's plunged below 666 a couple times before. So it's not good. It's hard investing in the stock market because it's a roller coaster, you know? You're up one day, you're down the next, you know? When it's down, you buy. When it's up, you sell. And it's hard to sell when it's high, so it's a rocky road, you know? You really have to buy from early on and hold on to it for years and then sell it. That's how to do it. It's just like a holding game. It's basically like you have your money invested in a savings account. But with the stock market, you just leave it there for lots of years and then sell it when it peaks high up. So that's the trick in investing with the stock market. You're not going to get rich quick. You're not even going to get a big profit quick. It's mainly like a savings account. It'll build up, you know. So that's the trick with the stock market. The tax cut is a $6 billion gift to Exxon. So yeah, the tax cuts have a lot of ups and downs. I mean, maybe it is creating more jobs because maybe the tax cut law should say you can only receive a tax cut, rich companies, if you employ more people. So it has its ups and downs. The bad side is it gives a lot of pork barrel spending into all these companies. They're giving $6 billion to Exxon. Does Exxon really need $6 billion? Heck no, man. It's not right. You know, the next story is Law and Order shoot prompts New York City bomb scare. What? This is big. Prompts set left behind on set of Law and Order led to a bomb scare in New York. I'm not really seeing what happened. Okay. This article has no information at all. It's a video. I don't want to click into the video because they're too long and hard to dig into the video. Now, it could be either these two things happen. Mainly, Law and Order was shooting an episode where it was about a terrorist in a New York City bomb attack. And if not that, then maybe when they were shooting it, maybe terrorists called in a fake bomb alert or pranksters called in a fake bomb alert. So it's either those two things. Next story, polar bears could face extinction faster than we thought. Of course, everyone knows this, but they're saying the glaciers are melting faster and faster. And you see horrible pictures of, you know, the lone polar bear floating on a glacier. It's really bad. It's sad, you know. For all we know, we might have to bring all those polar bears out from the North-South Pole and move them into the States in a way where they can live comfortably. They could populate more because they're dying off over there in the Arctics. Okay, let's see here. We have 3 more stories, especially real quick. The groundhog has spoken. Welcome to 6 more weeks of winter. So Punxatawny Phill saw 6 more months of winter. And so, something interesting with that right there. It's a clue. Something big coming. Next story, there are more than 54,000 bridges in the U.S. in need of repair. That's scary. A lot of our bridges are crumbling. What if you're driving on a bridge and it's weak and all of a sudden it collapses and your car goes tumbling in and hopefully it don't kill you? That's scary. So we should avoid crumbling bridges. Now, this is the last story. Bitcoin dips below $8,000. India is the latest buzzkill. So for some reason, India is affecting Bitcoin. They want to take all measures to eliminate the use of cryptocurrency, and it's hurting Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is crazy because a lot of people saying it's skyrocketing up in value. Now they're saying it's descending a lot in value. So it's like the stock market. It's not stable. Like again, the Bitcoin. Something to keep your money in there for a long period of time. Now, don't put too much money in it. It's like a gamble, you know, and it's not good to gamble with large amounts of money. It's like the casinos, you know, you never win. And the slot machines, sometimes they pay out, but it's very low and it's rare. Now bash your casinos. maybe there's some better casinos that pay better with better slot machines. So I'd have to say maybe Vegas is your best bet, but go to the casinos where they have the largest payouts, the best slot machines, and the best casinos, and the cheapest too. You shouldn't have to spend a fortune to have fun and gamble $40, $50 every month or two, you know. So I'm not bashing gambling. I'm not saying it's good either. I'm just saying you should work within your budget with that. Me personally, I'm tired of the slot machines. I never win. So that's my take on gambling. Let's see here. Now we'll get into the talk of the day. Okay, so the talk of the day, like I was talking about earlier, is we're going to be talking about the Super Bowl, the NFL, like the story that happened with Tom Brady. Did he deflate the balls? Was it an accident? I mean, did he bring in a football that he thought it was good and was bad? I mean, it's hard to say, you know. It's weird how the Patriots are always winning. It makes me think, are they rigging it? Are, you know, game after game, are they rigging it? Because it's very weird how, you know, I believe the Patriots have won 8 Super Bowls, or they have been in the Super Bowl 8 times. I'm not sure the winning streak the Patriots have had. I think it's 4 or 5 years in a row. These last 5 years, I'm not sure, but more or less along that ballpark. So something is strange going on in the Patriots. Is it that Tom Brady's such a good player? Is it that the Patriots players are so great? Or is it a fluke of luck? Or is it, are the refs rigging games? Is something shady going on here? Because this looks very weird. The Patriots keep winning year after year after year after year. And why is Tom Brady, you know, the most advertised player ever? Why is he held up on a golden pedestal, on a golden platform? You know, it's hard to say. Maybe the Patriots players are just really great. Now, a theory is maybe the Patriots have so much money, and that's why they probably train players to train longer, better. Either that or they're buying new people that they find that have better stamina, taller people, stronger people. Or could the Patriots be genetically modifying their players? Now, that's just a off-the-wall conspiracy, but you never know. It could be happening. Are the Patriots, is the coach altering the Patriots team members' DNA, or is it all just a fluke of luck? So there was this one strange story a while back, like I think 2 months ago, of this, I forgot which team. I need to sneeze. I forgot which team it was, but like one of the players fell and hit the ground, and then all of a sudden he jumped back up. That looks very inhuman. He was like this is a floor, and then he fell like that. And like how he got up, he just like bounced up like that. And they're saying that no one has physical energy to do that, that it is impossible, it defies the laws of physics and gravity. Now, there's other people that said, oh, he just fell at the same time that he bounced up. So it's very hard to say for certain. I mean, I seen the video and it did look weird. But then again, maybe there's just a logical explanation on that. Talking about other weird incidents that's been happening in sports. I think it was a soccer game. I forgot where. But do you all remember of that ghost that was walking in a soccer game in the back, and he was walking and disappeared? Now, if you look closely into that video, what you're seeing is a loop. He's walking towards the soccer goal, and then as he walks towards it, it disappears. He disappears because what you're seeing is a loop playback of when he started walking over here. So he's not actually disappearing. It looks like he does because he walks in here, but the loop playback sends him back over here. So it's a trick of illusion. And when you study tricks of illusions, you start to see on how easy it is to hoax stuff. You know, like magicians, they have a plastic bottle. Do you know how this magic trick works? They have a clear plastic bottle with no water, and they hit a quarter into it. Now, what they do is they have a quarter stuck onto the top part of the cap on the bottom. And so when they hit the quarter in, they make it look like it goes through because the one from the top falls down, and then they hide the coin real quick, and they say, look, oh, it jumped in there. So that's how they fake that. These magicians that look like they're levitating off the cane, they just have a platform, steel platform, and the cane holds a seat that their clothes are covering. It's basically the same like David Copperfield when he took his body apart and was walking with his body up here and his legs over here and bouncing around. Now, all he's doing is sitting Indian style with his legs crossed, and his clothes cover his body. That makes it look like there's no legs here, but he's just sitting Indian style. And he's balancing with dummy legs. Now, it's very hard to do. It takes a lot of balance. It's not easy. So you have to master the balance of it, like riding a bicycle, you know, and that's how he does that trick. And he's hopping around like that. Now, have you seen the other one where he floats up also? Again, he's being held up by strings, and he's like this way, but his legs are missing, and his body's right here, and his legs are right here, and he's rising up like this. It's because he's sitting Indian style again with his clothes covering, and there's strings lifting him up. So magic is all trickery. There's a couple of other ones that I've seen, you know, the metal spoon and how it looks like it bends. The way you do it is you have one regular spoon right here, and then you have another piece that's just bent, which means you break off the metal part of the spoon, you break off the top and throw the top away. And you have a regular spoon on top, and then you have the broken one that gives the bent illusion. You hide it with your hand. So it's all sleight of hand. It's all trickery. And it makes me wonder because I was one of the last videos, I think like 3 videos before, I showed, it's the one after the video titled Dark Magic. And it shows Asia's Got Talent. In that show, this girl named Sacred Rihanna, and she always has a nervous twist, like she's always going like that, and she's always fidgeting, clenching her fist, and she keeps portraying this image like she's so demonically possessed that she's Satan's spawn or something, you know, and and I think this is a theory that the whole cast of Asia's Got Talent rigged the whole show up just for her. Now, what's so special about her? Is she a diplomatic daughter? Does she have some connection in the Indonesian government? Because that's where the show is based in, Indonesia. And it's weird because I think they hoaxed it for her because they made her appear coming in the crowd, coming up behind the judges. They actually made her appear pixel by pixel. And no one has the power to disappear and appear. No one is, you know, above Jesus, you know, or even like Jesus, you know. We all could be like Jesus in a metaphor, but we all can't be actually like him in terms of the holiness he was, in terms of the magic abilities he had. So Jesus was not hoaxing his signs. He was the only one that was a human, but not really human, you know. He was spiritual human. He was half human, half spirit, more than we can ever become. So, in that segment of Asia's Got Talent, you see the background and you see all these people, you know. Like there's this lady, she goes like this and her head pops up to the top. Not literally pops off, but like it looks like a, what's it called, like some kind of video glitch or something wrong in the video editing they did. And you see this person in the far right bottom sticks his head out, and his head looks like, face looks like a ghoul, you know. And one of the last ones is this girl, she's wearing glasses, and she's smiling, and she sees that girl, Sacred Rihanna, appear, and she has no expression. She just keeps smiling. Now, anyone that sees that will have two reactions: either a surprise, like "whoa," or an excited, like "whoa," you know. So there should be those two reactions, not just keep smiling, which means that she probably didn't know that Asia's Got Talent maybe edited that part in. You know, so it's very weird. And it makes me think it's all magic fake. You see all these magicians on TV shows. What if the producers of the TV shows are rigging it, you know? Just like they rigged it in Asia's Got Talent, they may rig it with everything else. So we'll go ahead and end it on that note, talking about the Super Bowl. I'm going to mention a little bit of it more tomorrow to hype up the Super Bowl. Also, did you know that they are spending $50 million? No, wait, $5 million. It's still a lot of money. We don't have $5 million, you know. They're spending $5 million for a 30-second commercial on the Super Bowl, you know. And it may be pocket change to these rich companies. Can you believe it? So, of course, later on in the future, it's going to rise 10 million, 20 million, 30, 40, 50 million because of inflation, or they just want to keep getting more greedy. So it's getting very crazy, you know. It's such a waste of money. Where does this money go to? Does it help charities? They get 10 spots, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50 $50 million. Where does all that money go to? Does it go to pay the winners of the Super Bowl? And they collect all that? Does it go to the stadium owners? Does it go to NFL sports teams? Does it go? I mean, who does it really go to? You know, I mean, they could say it goes to one thing, but what if they funnel the money to something else, somewhere else? So we'll go ahead and end it on that note. We'll do a few EVPs, and we'll go ahead and end the show there. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. So we'll go ahead and do a couple of EVPs. I was trying to advertise the show today, and passing out flyers on the street is hard because I get so tired out, and it's like, you know. And then passing out flyers on people's cars, I don't like leaving on the people's windshield wipers because people get angry, you know. So I don't like that method of leaving flyers on people's windshield wipers. People think you're violating their space in their car, and they get angry. You're actually hurting your cause by trying to advertise like that. And most of all car windows to the side of the driver's seat, they don't have where you can slide in where the window is. You know, it's like, it seems like a lost cause. I've tried passing out my flyers to their stores, and they're kicking me out. So it's not easy, you know. I need to find the most effective, wise way of advertising. Because Craigslist is nice, but it only does so little. I wish I could get on the news, on local channel news, but they're censoring me. They're not letting me on their channel. These news stations, the local channels, are not letting me on the news to talk about this. And I think I'm being silenced, suppressed, censored by the men in black. It sounds like a conspiracy, but it is not. I have them stalking me all the time. I have them messing with me, threatening me. Sometimes like in their sarcastic ways. It's horrible, you know. It's a form of being persecuted, and I know I'm gonna have maybe a lot more haters later on. Of course, I always have the people that say I'm crazy for believing apparitions are real and that they're appearing. You know, of course, I have that to deal with. Then I have these people trying to stop me from getting onto certain outlets. So it's not easy. I'm being attacked by so many sides. But with God on my side, I will emerge victorious. So we'll go ahead and do a couple of EVPs. And very soon I will get on CNN. Mark my words. I will find a way to battle the men in black. I will not let them win. So we'll go ahead and do a couple of EVPs here. Let's see. It's real, man. The men in black, they keep censoring us, you know? And the time is coming where they need to stop censoring us. Who does the men in black think they are to keep muzzling us? We are not their dogs. They're the damn dogs. So let's begin with the EVPs. For EVPs, we need complete silence. These apps, they pick up the whispers and they read it out. So we'll start with this one. Awaiting your message. All right. Once we get beamed up in the chariots of God, yo, we are going to transcend to perfection. Okay, we'll go ahead and do this one now. So we got the words here. Let me start off with this one here. It says Kost with the K-O-S-T, Kost. And then masticated. And then sculling, like Mulder and Scully X-Files. They are like Men in Black, but they're the good Men in Black, you know. So I was talking about the Men in Black here. Sculling, Mulder and Scully. And then Cochellus. Cochellus. So we did have a word. Also, it says cost. I was talking about gambling is bad. So we have two connections there. That is proof that these EVP apps, they really do work. It's the real deal. Okay. Now this one says, and I pieced together the words serious gossip have scenes behind key. Serious gossip have scenes behind those that keep guessing. Maybe this could be the Men in Black trying to censor me because I'm talking about this and they see it as gossip and they don't want me to get on the news, so they want the world to keep guessing what's going on. That's hit the nail right on the head on that one. See, I know how to interpret all this stuff. We'll go ahead and do one more and then we'll end out the show. We're going to do them both at the same time to see if these two correlate. All right. These EVP apps are so fun, you know. Okay. This is a good one here. Talks about the dangers of over tanning, skin cancer. It says, halt with tan up. Halt with tan up. So, saying to the people of the world, it's okay to tan your body, whether through natural sunlight or even through the black light UVs. I'm not talking about these kind of black lights. They're like the tanning lights. It's okay if you don't do it too much. Now, regular tanning is good, but certain ways to do it. Don't overuse these heavy tanning creams. Put very little sunblock, low SPF, and let your body tan for a little bit in the sunlight. That's okay. But don't overdo it. Don't spend too long in the sunlight tanning. And definitely don't be too long in the tanning booths. That could cause skin cancer. Okay, to tan. This right here, actually it was this phone, said halt with tan up. So don't tan too much. So that's a pretty good one, you know. Talks about the dangers of tanning. So, and on this one, we have the words Balsonas. Balsonas, what does that mean? Sounds like a place in France, huh? And then trusting, and then sketched. We have the word moslimlike, but it's not M-U-S-L-E-M. It's not Muslim, it's Moslem, M-O-S-L-E-M-L-I-K-E. Muslim-like. This is talking about the Muslims here. Where we have Balsonas, trusting, sketched, Muslim-like. Now, does Muslim-like means trusting certain Muslims? And is it hard to trust certain Muslims? And then authicarium sounds like it was trying to say the word authenticate. So it's hard to trust the authentic Muslims. And then browed, popchop. Now that could sound like chop shop. You know, a lot of chop shops, they illegally do things in the automotive field. Popchop, chop shop. So, I mean, what does that have to do with Muslims? You know, maybe the Muslims are trying to sneak in and get their cars from the black market. So, something like that. Could this be a prediction here that terrorists are using some kind of automotive sector to infiltrate America? Who knows? Could it mean car bombs somewhere? I wish it would tell me when and where, you know. But I think we have some kind of clue here that the Muslims could be working in the automotive sector. That's interesting how a lot of us don't think about that. On the ways terrorists can infiltrate America. So we'll go ahead and end it there on that note. Keep your eyes to the skies because the signs are coming. God bless.